Here in Parliament with the Minority Spokesperson on Defence and Interior Committee. His name is James Agaga here, who has been addressing a press conference earlier on demanding for the arrest and prosecution of Member of Parliament for Sin Central, Kenedy Agyapong. I just want to find out from you, even before we go into the demands that you're making, that first of all, based on your submission today, there is clearly a problem of impunity, because law agencies are not working the way you expect them to work. But isn't it because of the structure of policing in this country?
Well, what is the structure of policing in this country? Somebody, through his reckless utterances, incites the public against a journalist. The next moment, the journalist is targeted and murdered in cold blood. Now, that person is left off the hook. What kind of policing is that? I think the police should be courageous enough to apprehend such persons whenever crimes are committed, regardless of their status in society. Listen here. Kenedy Agyapong, after making all those wild statements on TV, decided to jet out of this country. I am told the police went to his house and had a conversation with him.
You were told by who?
Oh, I mean, I read in the media. Statements emanating from the police itself suggest that they went to his house and had a conversation with him. He was not treated as a suspect. Given the fact that the Criminal and Other Offences Act is so clear, I mean, if you reference Section 20, you find that the crime of abetment, I mean, if the position of the law is anything to go by, at least Kenedy Agyapong could be held for committing the offense of abetment, right? Whether his utterances was what actually resulted in the commission of the murder or not, the mere fact of making those statements alone would pass for the offense of abetment under the Criminal and Other Offences Act. So the question to ask is, why was he not arrested and dealt with in relation to those provisions of the law that we have just referenced? Is it because of his status in society? So we think that there is something wrong, and our law enforcement agencies must up their game. Listen, under the Constitution, we're all equal before the law. Even the president is equal before the law. He's not above the law. So I am surprised that Kenedy Agyapong was allowed to stand at the VIP lounge and insult the partner of the deceased, Amel Swale, and his lawyer, right, for the work that they do, even after the death of Amel Swale. One would have thought that after his reckless comments had resulted in the death of Amel Swale, he would have been a bit remorseful. But listening to the tone with which he spoke at the VIP launch shortly before his departure for Dubai, I think that there is something wrong in this country, and the security agencies, the government, must sit up. They must ensure that justice is done in this matter, that Kenedy Agyapong is arrested to prove a point that nobody in this country is above the law. I'm sure if an ordinary person had acted in the manner that Kenedy Agyapong did, he would have been arrested. The police wouldn't have gone to his house to merely have a conversation with him. He was not cautioned. Statements were never extracted from him. They merely asked him to assist them with a tape record that he's supposed to have. Moments after that, he finds his way out of the country. And before his departure, he stands at the VIP lounge and speaks as if he is all in all. He's all powerful. He's an untouchable. We're saying that that cannot happen in a democratic and civilized nation such as ours.
And based on your information, you say that the police went to him. He was not treated as a suspect. The police went to his house to essentially, from your words, to plead with him to give them a recording of what happened. Were you there yourself? Did you see this yourself?
I don't need to be there. If Kenedy Agyapong had been treated as a suspect, he would have been granted at least bail.
Do you know whether he's been granted bail?
He was not granted bail. That is a fact. I speak on authority. So far as this matter is concerned, he was not granted bail. He's not on bail. He traveled out of this country as a free man. All right? And I think that for me is unacceptable, given given the fact that a life was lost through his reckless comments.
You keep saying that a life was lost through his reckless comment, but then at your press conference again, you kept saying, some of your members kept saying that you are not saying that Mr. Agyapong actually had anything to do with the killing of this individual. You base your position or your demand for arrest and prosecution on abetment, or the fact that he could be tried for abetment.
Kenedy Agyapong is complicit in the murder of Ahmed Swale is a matter that needs to be thoroughly investigated.
But right now, what the statement you're making suggests that you know for sure that he has something to do with it.
Not until the matter is investigated, nobody can make those conclusive statements that he, Kenedy Agyapong, is complicit in the murder of Ahmed Swale. It's early days yet, and that is why we called on the security apparatus to work to ensure that this matter is thoroughly investigated, so that at the end of the day, the mystery surrounding the murder is unraveled. But that notwithstanding, we're saying that for now, even without proceeding any further, Kenedy Agyapong should be held for the offense of abetment because he made certain remarks, blew the cover of Ahmed Swale, exposed him to harm by displaying on TV photos purporting to be his and disclosing the location of his residence. And not long after that, the man is murdered. We're saying that even before investigations into the murder is commenced, he should be held under the law for abetment for the time being. If subsequent investigation reveals his complicity in the murder, why not? He should be dealt as such.
Do you have confidence in the system, the system to do that now?
For now, the way and manner they have behaved by allowing him to jet out of this country, even at a time when he hadn't been questioned, he was not treated as a suspect, leaves much to be desired.